It's time to check in on what the right's free speech radicalism we hear so much about is actually worth in practice. So Donald Trump had a closed door donor meeting where he said something so horrible that the donors themselves ran to the media to rat him out. And I'm glad that they did. And it wasn't that he joked that 98% of his Jewish friends were at the meeting, which is already weird enough. No, it had to do with the topic of Gaza and student protests, okay? Here's what he said. One thing I do is any student that protests, I throw them out of the country. You know, there are a lot of foreign students. As soon as they hear that, they're going to behave. And that is the core of free speech, not saying things that bother the powerful. Behave instead. I think that's in the First Amendment. Always behave. So anyway, that's what it's worth, okay? He called the demonstrators part of a radical revolution that he vowed to defeat. He said that the protests have to be stopped. Well, if you get me elected, and you should really be doing this, if you get me reelected, we're gonna set that movement back 25 or 30 years. So, the peace movement, or free speech movement, because there's two sides to this, and both say they're on the side of free speech. The Trumpers say it and don't mean it. The students are literally being crushed by the police state. They're saying, hey, we want to be able to protest like students have been doing for decades and decades and decades. Can we just do that? And then they get fireworks thrown at them and they get expelled from school and they get arrested. I would say that they're actually the standard bearers for free speech. But beyond that, they're also advocating for a ceasefire. And Trump finds that to be so utterly unacceptable that he wants to deport American citizens for calling for peace. Okay, if you're a right winger and you've convinced yourself that Donald Trump isn't gonna get us into any foreign wars, just think about what he said now about people who want us to stop supporting the one we're already in. Anyway, like the issue is, if you are a student protester, there's not a lot of good options for you right now. There's not a lot of people that you can really see as a champion. We criticize Joe Biden because he's super weak and complacent in this issue. And then you have Donald Trump, who would be perfectly happy to turn all of Gaza into glass. So I don't know what you're supposed to do, but you definitely shouldn't behave. That would be my advice. Anyway, I'm gonna give you one more thing that he said, because I understand that he is advocating for a hands-off approach to the IDF that would allow them to kill as many Palestinians as they want. And I know for some people who support the conflict, that's all they want. But I don't want you to ever forget how much he utterly despises Jewish people. He said this, so I did Golan Heights. You know, that's worth 2 trillion, they said. That piece, if you put it in real estate terms, but it's worth more than that. It is. But how can a Jewish person vote for a Democrat, and Biden in particular, but forget Biden? They always let you down. I gave you real estate and you're gonna have like opinions about politics? No, I gave you something worth money. That's the only thing that you care about. That's the only thing that should matter to you. So fall in line. So bear in mind, it's not just the campus protesters that are supposed to shut up and behave. It's Jewish Americans as well. They're never supposed to express a political preference nor expect anything else because he once gave them Golan Heights. Just an interesting read on that history anyway. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?